I believe that the public need to hear that there is another side.
And that's why I'm here too, to have you help me to understand and follow the evidence.
Hi, you're watching Movie Guide. I'm Evie Bear Carroll, and I'm here with Kevin Sorbo. I don't think you need an introduction, Kevin, because we know you and we love you. And first movie I want to talk to you about is the movie called Against the Tide. That movie I watched, and it was brilliant. Tell us about the concept. Like, how did you come up with it?
Well, I'm just, I'm one of the guys involved in producing of it, but a lot of it came from God's Not Dead, which Movie Guide is well aware of, because we're up for a couple of awards. They're back, my gosh, that's 6 years ago already that came out in theaters. Where's the time go? But anyway, my character in that movie, as I'm tormenting my students in my philosophy class for having a belief in God, one of the things he says, he talks about Dr. John Lennox and brings up a couple of his quotes. So that's kind of got the whole ball rolling with this. And I spent 3 weeks in Oxford, England with John. John's a retired math professor at Oxford, England. He holds 5 doctorates, speaks like 6 languages. And then we went down to Israel for 2 weeks. So it was an amazing travel guide as well for people that want to watch this thing. It's a good sort of positive viewpoint of going to Israel and going to Oxford. But John is an apologist. He's debated all the atheists of the world, from Singer to Dawkins and Hitchens. And he's an amazing guy. And I look at this movie, it's more like apologetics for dummies like me. And I think that if people watch this movie, this documentary, I encourage them to write down bullet points, because this gives you ammunition to defend your faith. And John is such an amazing guy. Not only is he brilliant and funny, he kills his opponents with kindness in this Winnie the Pooh kind of voice. And it's just such a cool guy. And we've become friends since then. And we talked recently doing FaceTime.
I thought it was a brilliant movie for this time period. I think apologetics is something that's really needed.
Yeah.
I think more churches should be doing apologetics, and, every topic needs to be covered by apologetics, in the politics and the entertainment, everything really. So talk to me about how you really got connected to him, because he's world renowned. I mean, he's done, like you were saying, he's done debates with everybody.
We show a lot of his debates through the decades with the people even when he was still teaching. And I think people find that fascinating. But really, I sort of play kind of the antagonist here. I ask the questions that maybe agnostics and atheists would be asking. And it's really proving God in a world of science. And John just takes over. I mean, he's amazing at what it is. Amazing what we got to do. I mean, I got to do some things in Israel that nobody gets to do. I mean, very few people get to do. And I got to go where Pilate was, and I got to stand on that balcony. There's a church around it now, but it used to be a castle of sorts back in the day. And I got to stand exactly where he said, "Which of these two you want me to crucify? Which one do you want me to save?" And they all screamed, to crucify Jesus. And to stand on that was pretty amazing. Even the guy that brought me up there said, "Oh, I can't go out there." And he was dead serious about it. So I felt like I was walking to holy ground there. And then, to go see where Lazarus was raised from the dead, and even to be on the Sea of Galilee and just to cruise around there and think of, the storm that came up, and Jesus that told people to relax, and he walked on water and all. I mean, it was really quite an amazing moment for me, because I'd never been to Israel before.
Oh, yes. Israel is just, and it's nice because you're bringing viewers to there that can't get the opportunity to go themselves. My husband's grandparents, they're still alive, and they haven't had the chance to do it, but they're strong Christians. And so this will be a good opportunity for them to see it. And you guys represented it so beautifully. So, I think that's awesome. Kind of talk about, did you have a growth in it? Everybody has a, faith journey when they're going to Israel. Yeah. Talk a little bit more about your personal faith journey through going there.
Well, and it is. It's a pilgrimage for a lot of people from around the world. And here's what I didn't expect when I went there. And I don't know, I didn't think of it, because I guess my ego's not that way. But I look at the movies that I've done, from What If, God's Not Dead, Soul Surfer, Let There Be Light. When I got there were people on their pilgrimage from China, from Russia, from Poland, from Japan, from Mexico, and they all recognized me. I wasn't really prepared for that. And they all just came up, and I said, "Oh my gosh," because it wasn't Hercules or Andromeda, my series. It was those movies. And it just reminded me of what I'm doing for my part in a little way to be a harvester, hopefully, for Jesus and for God in these movies that we do, because they get out there and they spread out to so many people, and they're going to be out there forever, which is really kind of a cool thing. And finally, there was a group from Michigan that was there, and one guy walked right by me, walked right up to John Lennox. He said, "I am such a fan of your work." And John looks at me and goes, "See, Kevin, I'm famous too." But it was neat to really see that kind of hard work, because you know what it's like to put these movies together and try to raise $3 or $4 million, and people think that's a lot of money. Heck, that's catering on Pirates of the Caribbean, these $300 million movies, and it's like pulling teeth for us to find these. But when we do find the money, I know we're doing good projects with good messages about faith and love and hope and redemption and laughter, you know. And you look at what's going on in the world right now with all this anger and divisiveness. You know, we got a battle to go against. I mean, politics runs downstream of culture, as Andrew Breitbart said, and who runs the culture but Hollywood does. And look at the movies they're putting out. You know, so we're trying to get movies that have a good message and a positive message to make people go, you know, I can relate to that, or I know people like that. And that's what we're trying to do. Go to againstthetide.movie. That's againstthetide.movie. Check out the trailer, put in your zip code, and it'll show you where it's showing near you, what theater is near you.
The resurrection possesses unrivaled explanatory power.
John, I sense that you truly believe this.
I'm convinced of it, not simply as a Christian, but as a believing scientist.